Well, the second episode of season 5 is going to be another episode I never would have thought we would have done for the series. That might be a theme here, but is Buff Bagwell. And obviously growing up right in the pocket of 90s, WCW, NWO, definitely obviously remember him as a fixture of the NWO, one of the arrogant heels of that group. And I'd heard rumblings of his story. Obviously, he's had some, challenges with addiction and, crashed his car several times.
Trials and tribulations.
Trials and tribulations. Yeah, exactly. And, you hear about that stuff. And then you heard, his post wrestling career was sort of being a male escort. And
Buff Bigelow, male gigolo.
Yeah. And appearing on reality TV shows involving that. But I have to be honest with you. I was someone who was very dubious if this would be a fit for the show, and admitted, probably wrongfully. But when we started filming this and getting the interviews of some of the people that, his family, ex-wives, childhood friends, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's some of the craziest stories we've ever captured for any of the episodes.
Well, that's what I was about to say. For people who may say, well, Buff Bagwell used to be my favorite wrestler. Now, come to think of it, nobody's ever said that. But for people who say Buff Bagwell, the outside the ring stuff that wasn't on television has a lot more potential for entertainment than some of the stuff that was on television, doesn't it?
Oh my God. Well, one of the things that I did not know going into this was that there was a domestic altercation before Buff got into the wrestling business. There was a huge altercation between his dad and his mom, Judy Bagwell, of course, who would actually become a part of the wrestling business.
Who would later on become a noted pole sitter.
Yeah, right. Exactly. In WCW. But there was a huge altercation between his mom and his dad, and, a young Buff, he was scared. He went and grabbed a fucking gun and shot his dad, which I did not know. Did you know this?
I was not aware of this one.
He shot his dad. His dad survived, and he's actually in the episode. And they both talk about this, very defining moment in their personal history, and they were able to obviously come together in the end. But it just, the environment that Buff grew up in, because he did grow up pretty much, like his family was in the Georgia area where they grew up. They were known to everybody. They had a lot of money. They had a very successful family business, and a lot of it came crashing down. And it just sounded, the insanity of what was going on in that household is on like a 10. So that I didn't know. So all that stuff is going to be a surprise to everybody. Obviously, his run-ins with the law, his problems with addiction, and of course the male escort era of his career, and he does have a redemption, and you can tell that a lot of people really care about him. They want the best for him, and want to see the best for him. And now in terms of where he's at in life, it seems like he's come out the other side. So there is a redemptive quality to the story, but this is a roller coaster ride of an episode, I will say.
I always thought that the handsome stranger never got a chance to get over. That gimmick could have been WrestleMania main event worthy.
Well, the American males too, and him with Scotty Riggs, who's also in the episode.
Well, actually, those gimmicks actually did stand a chance. But did you study the handsome stranger era?
I think he gets a mention. In there.
I think it was a collaboration, I think, between Joe Pedicino and Burt Prentice, that gimmick. He was masked, and he had the flowers that he would bring to a select young lady at ringside in the Sportatorium in Dallas, where there were 200 people, and the prettiest young lady at ringside probably was wearing an oxygen tank and using a walker. But I always got a kick out of that one. But we will anxiously await learning more about Buff Bagwell's outside the ring activities than some of the inside the ring stuff. Although it's got potential as well.
He broke his neck on television.
He's got that going for him.
Don't forget that. I mean, Crazy.
For all the people who say, well, that can't happen. It did happen. It can happen again anytime the way things are going.
Mm-hmm.